As you know, every week we invite passionate collectors to come in here to the studio and show off their collections. And tonight we meet Ros Chapman. Hi, Ros.
How there?
Now, these have a bit of a reputation. A lot of people are really scared of ventriloquist dummies. Were you ever that way?
I don't find them spooky at all. My first memory of a ventriloquist dummy was as a child watching it on children's television, and so it was quite a cheerful object. And it was only as I got older that I realised that there was something sinister about them.
OK, well, let's have a look at the whole collection.
Hi, I'm Ros, and this is Michael. Hello. And this is my obsession. I first became obsessed with ventriloquist dolls as a child, watching Chris Kirby and Terry. I never had any childhood ambition to be a ventriloquist. The joy of it was actually in collecting the dummies themselves rather than aspiring to go on stage. There's something axe-murderish about ventriloquist dummies, and I just love them. There are two types of dummies. This is Tommy Talker, he's from Canada, and he's a child's toy rather than a character. Excuse me, Michael. This is a professional one, and so it has a stick mechanism, and so this controls the mouth, and then there's a lever at the back which controls the eyes. Some dummies have such an arrangement of levers that you wonder how the ventriloquist could actually concentrate. Some of them have up to 7 or 8 levers, and you've only got 5 fingers. This is the oldest one I've got, and he's also my favourite. He has winking eyes, and he has a gusset mouth which makes him look more realistic. This is Howdy Doody, who was fairly well known in an American television show. It's Howdy Doody time, and these are 3 different versions of him. This is the earliest one. Howdy. Usually the earlier versions of each character are the most realistic and the ones that appeal to me the most. There's something Alice Cooper, Twilight Zone about ventriloquist dummies that appeals to something twisted in my psyche.
Ros, I don't know how you sleep at night.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
We certainly haven't improved the image of ventriloquist dummies through that piece, but getting to the dummy you've got with you, this one's particularly special, isn't it?
Yes, this is Charlie McCarthy, and he became famous on the radio. He was in vaudeville before that, but and they made movies. He guest appeared on so many programs, even The Muppet Show. This was obviously produced as a fairly expensive toy in the 1930s.
Are they getting harder to find?
They were always hard to find, simply because there's not that many people that collect them, which is part of the appeal for me.
Well, that drives up the value, doesn't it, Gordon?
Exactly. I mean, I've been a dealer for 35 years. I don't think I've ever seen a ventriloquist dummy, you know, in a box or anything like that. What sort of money are they worth?
Well, this little guy's worth about $750.
Wow.
But that is because he is an old one.
Proper professional one? What would they be worth?
Anything up to $2,500.
So, Adrian, a lot of people agree that these are scary, but you can't put your finger on why exactly they are that scary to us.
They're zombie creatures. They're dead and alive at the same time, and that is a freaky idea. I mean, dolls were put in tombs by the Egyptians. They've been used in a variety of ways. They're used in voodoo. So there's a long history, isn't there,
yeah,
Nicole?
There is. And the character that they take on, I mean, that has a history too. Court jesters, he could be irreverent towards the king through the stick, and he was the only person in the court that could be. And it's that same irreverence that these dummies take on, isn't it? They're quite naughty, and they can get away with things that others can't.
Yeah, it makes the unsayable sayable.
And that's scary for people, don't it?
Of course,
Who knows what they might say?
Yeah.
And Ros, a lot of ventriloquists are very attached to their dolls. I've actually heard a story of an Australian ventriloquist, and correct me if I'm wrong, that actually was buried with their doll.
He had it written in his will that he wanted to be buried with his dummy. And Charlie McCarthy was actually willed to the Smithsonian Institute. So a lot of them do end up in museums.
Well, thank you for coming in and showing us through your collection.
You're most welcome.
Good
Been a
luck
pleasure.
with it. Now, it's time to prove that our panel are no dummies themselves. Remember the mystery